Hey guys, yesterday I was a little under the weather and was unable to get my video out. So I've simply rolled both videos into one day. Today we're going to take a look at environmental hazards within the canyon as well as some random encounters that you can have within the canyon. So without a further ado, let's get into it. With wind whistling down the canyon, your party moves cautiously along looking for dangers around the next turn. The ground begins to shake and everyone looks around, but no one looked up. A rock slide bounces down the side of the canyon and the entire party dives for cover. Now we're going to take a look at some of the environmental hazards that the party may encounter in between different areas of the dungeon when traveling to or from town or when going from one area to another area within the canyons. The first hazard is a rock slide that is a DC 15 survival check to detect a little early. If the party succeeds in the DC 15 survival check, then they'll have advantage on their athletics or acrobatics checks to dive out of the way. Failing to dive out of the way, the party would take 3d6 damage and gain 1 level of exhaustion as they dug themselves out. The second environmental hazard is quicksand. A DC 15 survival check will allow the party to see the quicksand before they're upon it. This would allow the party to perhaps go around it and not have to deal with it at all. If they can't go around it, then they have to try to find some way across, whether it be climbing the walls of the canyon or making a bridge of some type to get across or using some kind of magic. If a party member does get stuck in the quicksand, then the party can use some sort of rope or branch or stick, maybe a quarterstaff, something along those lines to pull the party member out. The third hazard is heat exhaustion. With very little air movement and the sun reflecting down into the canyon, the party could suffer heat exhaustion. A DC 12 survival check allows the party to recognize the danger and take quick little rests here and there and find water to combat the heat exhaustion. If they fail the check, then they suffer 1 level of exhaustion. The next hazard is poisonous snakes. Now, you may think this is a combat encounter, but it's not. The party with a perception or survival check of DC 15 can spot the snake and avoid it. If they don't avoid the snake, then one of the party members at random gets bit by it as they're passing by. That party member can make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw to be fine. On a failed save, they have the poisoned condition. The poisoned condition can be removed with a DC 12 medicine check during a short rest. The fifth hazard is a windstorm. The windstorm can be detected with a DC 15 perception or survival check, alerting the party that the storm is coming down the canyon. If they succeed, the party can take cover behind an outcropping or in a small cave until the windstorm passes. If they fail, then each party member takes 2d6 damage from the sand and other abrasive material within the windstorm, and 1 random non-magical item for each party member is rendered useless and destroyed by the abrasive sand in the wind. Those are the hazards that I would use in the canyon. Now let's take a look at some of the random encounters they may come across within the canyon walls. The first random encounter that I have for the party within the canyon is they run into another adventuring party. Now, this party could already be hostile, or they could be friendly right off the bat, or perhaps through role-playing conversation between the party and the NPCs, they become hostile and attack, or become friendly and offer some advice as to what is ahead. Another option is that the party stumbles across these NPCs in the middle of one of the previously mentioned environmental hazards, and then the party can help the NPCs escape the hazard or not. The second random encounter is a merchant. Seems strange that a merchant would be in the canyons, but perhaps this guy found some way to get into the canyons, or at least this far into the canyons safely, and set up some sort of a shop. Perhaps he uses this shop to outfit adventurers and also to give information, or rather to sell information to the party or other adventurers in the canyon. The merchant also probably has information on some of the other local factions within the canyon, as he could very well have alliances with them in order to sell more goods. A third random encounter could be that the party members come across a couple of the different factions within the canyons in the middle of a fight. If the party comes across this, they have a couple of options. One, they can charge into the fray and fight both factions at the same time, leading to a very exciting three-way battle between three different groups. The other option is they could sit back and wait for the fight to be over, at which time they can have another option. They can either then let the victors leave, or perhaps they can jump on the group that won the fight now that they're weakened from the fight and have a little bit of an easier battle for themselves. So come back tomorrow as we take a look at the second level of the dungeon, the forest on the side of the mountain on the other side of the canyons. And you can check out the playlist above to see all the rooms that we have so far in the Mega Dungeon.